Sairam, uh, actually, in the good old Vrindavan, we had beautiful bungalow. A British, I think it was built during the British times, and Swami was very kind uh, to accept me as a staircase boy, and he gave me that golden opportunity of serving him uh, near him, and the duty which the staircase boys were supposed to do was uh, communicate whatever the other people, maybe the principal or anybody, any VIPs, we have to inform Swami, and in case Swami wants them to come up, yes, we have to give the message to them, and they'll come upstairs and have audience with Swami. As far as the regular routine of Swami is concerned, Swami used to get up around 5 o'clock. Then he would come out and have a brisk walk of about half an hour. That is walking very fast. And there was a place where he could walk. Then he would sit down around 6 o'clock on a sofa outside.
This walking was
Yes.
in the mandir itself, right? In the bungalow itself?
Yeah, upstairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Around 6 o'clock, it was our duty to give the daily newspapers like Deccan Herald, Indian Express, Andhra Prabha, and Prajavani, the Kannada newspaper. And we used to give to Swami, and Swami would go through the newspapers. At that time, it was our fortune to have Pad Seva. It was a golden opportunity Swami had given us to do Swami's Pad Seva, and it would be, say, about half an hour or so. Then he would go to the dining hall, have little bit of breakfast, like, say, ragi ball with very hot chutney, then idli, then maybe sometimes puri. And he used to have very little food, always conscious of his 54 kgs. He used to weigh always 54 kgs, and he used to maintain throughout. And after having breakfast, he would go to the his room and get ready to come down around, say, 9 o'clock. Then he would go to the safe room. That is a place where it was a small room where a safe was kept, but the number of children used to get in was enormous. And with all the children, with all the students, he used to talk. He used to chide the children, and whatever the children asked Bhagwan, any questions, he used to answer them. He used to guide them. He used to correct them. After that, he would go to for giving darshan to Sairam Shed. After going to darshan, again, sometimes he will come to the hostel. Again, the children will be there in the hostel, the old hostel, not the present one, near the gate. He'll sit down for, this is the safe room.
This is a safe room, yes.
Yeah. Where again he'll talk to the children. He used to shower so much of love to them, and finally he'll ask the time, and he would tell, "Come on, go to the college." and the children who used to go to the college, around 11 o'clock or so, he'll have his around 11 o'clock or so, he would have his lunch, then retire. Again, at 3:30 also, he'll come, have the tiffin, come down, and up to 7 o'clock, the same morning routine. And in the evening, we used to have the bhajan session in the hall downstairs, where Swami would sit, and around Swami, all of us, all the children will sit and have beautiful bhajan sessions where he used to ask each singer to sing. And in case we don't get chance, we used to feel so sad and introspect ourselves why Swami hasn't given chance today. So there was a chance for us to correct ourselves. Anything else, brother?
That's nice. I was trying to. This is the place
Are
where
there-
you're telling that Swami used to sit with the students, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
This doesn't look like too wide a place, but it is a longish.
Yeah, correct.
It was a long.
So this is the place where he used to walk also.
No, no.
Oh, this is
That's
downstairs.
Upstairs.
Downstairs. That's upstairs.
Okay,
I
so he
think
used to
that.
walk upstairs of the same thing. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Upstairs.
excellent. Brother Hirok, you also came during the same time. How did you find when you came to
Yeah.
put up a right field?
See, as was told by Kote, Vrindavan was first Vrindavan. It's like how that close link between a devotee and his God was prevalent during that time. Vrindavan had a very very beautiful. It was like a right, and then that time the climate in Bangalore was also very cold and very sultry. So there were wonderful opportunities which Swami gave to each one of us. Like what Pote was saying, that I also did this staircase duty, and then uh, we had the privilege of sleeping there, right? So every day morning by about 4:35, there used to be a lot of noise, a lot of footsteps. So that was the time when Swami used to take that brisk walk. And then all of us used to get awakened by that. But what was the lesson that was given to us? All of that lesson that was given to all of us was that all of us should get up early and then take care of our health. And all during this, since we had the privilege of seeing Swami in close quarters, how was his life? His life was very, very simple. He never had any luxurious, like take for example, the bed that he was sleeping on was a very, very simple life. And then the food that he used to have was also very, very simple, normal, staple diet of a villager. See, Swami could have, could get the best of things in terms of luxurious items, but he never did that. The second thing which we noticed was that during the bhajans, right? During the bhajans, in the evenings when people used to gather together, all the students used to gather together and sit at Swami's feet for bhajans. He used to ask his. There were other devotees who used to come from the city. He will ask the devotees, "Kya laya?" You know why he wanted kya laya? He wanted some laddus or something, some sweets which could be got for his students. He never used to have his laddu and all. It was for him, for his this thing, for giving it to his students. That love, from the morning to evening, the only thing that we could see was love, compassion, and empathy to all the devotees. It was such a privilege to be there during that time. And then,
There
of
is
course,
there is always a
sing
thought
bhajan.
with people, they wonder, like, I'm sure the newer devotees and newer children also, students also have this question, that what did Swami eat? Like, what was his food consumption? Because normally they hear he used to be very little eater. He would eat very, very less. But what was his normal meal, starting from breakfast?
Yeah. So
Rupak and Kote,
during
so
breakfast,
Sonam, you can also join. Please feel free to
Yeah.
jump in with your thoughts. So Kote brother.
yeah,
In the morning breakfast session, he used to have normal food like ragi balls, then
Okay.
idli, then puri, pongal, normal things like we eat only. Nothing
Okay.
special. Very simple.
So
Very
was it
simple.
like
Even,
one day ragi, one day idli, or something like that?
yeah. And even in the
Okay.
afternoon lunch, ordinary food with curry,
and
rasam, sambar, rice. That's all.
But I
And
believe his
initially
he
Swami
quantity
used to
was
take,
very less.
But,
very less, and he
but
never
very
you
used to have
remember,
no
yeah,
curds
you
at all.
remember,
Sonam bhaiya, if you can
initially
wear the
Swami
headphone, that would be nice.
Yeah, initially Swami used to have coffee in the
Yeah,
mornings. He used to have 1 or 2 cups of coffee, but he gave up that also because I won't know why he gave it up, but he gave up that coffee also. And the other thing, other factor which was I mean which you could see in Swami's eating habits was he was quite fond of
On.
this chilies, hot food.
yeah.
Hot
You know,
chili. Yeah.
for example, yeah, hot. So
And no,
so he will
no
start
bakery items. No bakery items at all.
no bakery items,
Yeah,
nothing. And also, like take for example, people used to cook food for him. They used to send food for him from various places. I mean, in a day there will be around 10, 20 dishes which Swami could eat from, because a lot of devotees used to also send food. But no, Swami was never went ahead and started doing. He used to only choose a few of the dishes and eat that, and then the amount of rice which he used to take in the daytime was very. See, they used to keep a vessel of rice for him. He used to take half of that, and towards the end, when after he sort of attained around 60, 65 years, he stopped even taking that much also. And the other thing which I was saying, there was also one more thing which he used to do. He used to take a few savory items during the tea time. That was the time when he used to take coffee and tea. But
yeah.
that time also he stopped. He gave up
Actually,
I
that
believe
also.
he used to
actually,
get.
Abhinav,
Sure.
actually, Abhinav, he used to
I,
eat very less, but for the others, he used to serve. Even if you tell no, Swami, it's enough, he used to serve more. He used to force the others to eat more. Usually, first Swami will have, then the guests will have, then he'll call the people who are around him and make them sit on the same table. All of us used to have Swami sitting in front, and we used to have food, and he'll himself serve the food to others and force
Yeah,
us to eat.
yeah, yeah. I remember,
Yes,
yeah,
I,
I was
I
on the
remember
whole,
getting
one
something.
incident.
on
I
the
remember one
whole,
incident. I just thought I should tell you. Yeah.
Swami
Go ahead.
would, Swami
Go
ate,
ahead.
Swami ate what actually was good for the students. Because
Yeah.
ultimately the food would come to the hostel, and every room would get his share of chance to receive that food.
Yes.
And that day they would forego the dinner in the hostel mess, and they would eat food that was brought from the bungalow.
Excellent.
That
So
Yeah.
was
all
mixed
the
with the
so
dinner
all that
also.
good food, yeah, all that good food was actually
For the boys.
selected by Bhagwan, chosen by Bhagwan for the benefit of the students, not for himself.
Even from the
Not for
hostel,
you.
food used to be taken to the mandir, and two boys used to take it. And with the Swami, those two boys will also have food. So all
So
the
boys
boys
will
in
carry
turn.
the food. So boys
Yes,
will
yes,
go
yes,
in turn, and
yes,
they will
yes,
get
yes,
the privilege
yes.
to eat with Swami.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
May I
yes. Ruchir, please,
may I ask
please
Ruchir
join,
to come
Ruchir.
in?
Please.
Brother Ruchir, can you share us the same trend in 80s? How did it pan out? Especially when Swami used to come and stay for months in Whitefield, how was his food and how was students involved with his eating? Ruchir Bhaiya, can you hear us?
I can barely hear you. I missed most of your question.
Oh, we are talking about Swami's daily routine and especially on his food, like how the food was being served to him and how he controlled his diet and how he fed the students and everybody around. So we have looked at it from 70s point of view. Since you came in an 80, how was it at that time and what did you see? Your interaction and your experiences on that line.
I think my connection is poor, so I'm not really able to make out your question.
Okay, no problem. I think if you can hear, then we'll get back to you again. What I gather
We'll
from
wait,
this,
we'll wait
is
for
that
my connection to improve.
okay. See, what I see that Swami had a habit. He never changed his routine, as I understand, and he followed it very strictly. Whether he was in Puttaparthi, Whitefield, or even on his tours when he went around, and he was very particular about his diet, but he was quite generous with the feeding others. That's what I gather from all of you. So when you look at his
Yeah.
routine wise,
True, true.
yeah, that is what we are asking Ruchir Bhai. How can you give us highlight it on 80s time when Bhagwan, when you were there in 80s? Was the routine same? Was it more busy? Can you hear us, Ruchir
Probably
Bhaiya?
he can't. Yeah, he can't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richard, can you hear?
I think his connection is going confusing. Okay, anyways, let's continue with this journey. So
I can't hear.
no problem. I understand. So let's see if
Sorry.
your connection improves, then we can bring it in.
So,
So
Abhi, before you go, I wanted to tell one incident of Swami with Kutumara
sure,
in
please do.
Vrindavan Vani Hall. Okay, so as was pointed out by Sonam, okay, so Kutumara was a person who always cleaned up his plate, okay, if he's eating in front of Swami, and he was very, very, conscious of that. Always he will clean up his plate. So what Swami did was Swami signaled to Radha Krishna. See, look at his habit. Look at Swami's habit. Okay, he wants Kutumara to have sumptuous meal. Okay, Kutumara was a little bit diffident in front of Swami because he's having food in front of Swami. So he didn't want to maybe. He wanted to only eat the amount that was put in his plate first. But what Swami did was he signaled to Radha Krishna and told him keep keep on cooking. So what Radha Krishna
Keep on
did was,
putting.
yeah, he wanted to put for Kutumara so that no Kutumara can have more and more food. That's his habit of feeding everybody, right? See? And as devotees, we will be always diffident in country, but that is how he did. So he signaled to Radhakrishna. Kutumara did not know that this was happening, and then Radhakrishna kept on putting cookie. Kutumara with lot of effort will fill up whatever, finish off whatever was there on his plate, but then again Radhakrishna will put up one papad or put up a spoon of rice. So this continued, and then Swami, in front of Swami only, Kutumara looked up at Radhakrishna and told, enough, that is enough. I've had enough. And then Swami said, okay, always you'll see that, that mischief in, so Vrindavan was like that, Swami used to always, we used to always have that, that manifestation of Krishna in Swami, right? It was he used to move around with all his students, uh, play around, play around with them, talk with them, be very, very familiar with them, very, very informal, this thing, informal atmosphere, always trying to joke around with the students, and then having a very, very close connect with more all the students, right? So I think that's the thing. Rupak also, you can also add because you were also there during that time.
Since all of you
Yeah,
are from musical background, most of you, so let me take you through that journey. See, our Bhagwan has been very, in his busy schedule, he has given majority of his time to students. And as I look at it, it is indeed a privilege to be born as a contemporary to God. And more than that, it was a privilege to be in his physical proximity. Further, to add to that was to become, serving him in physical proximity. I would say the maximum was, the furthermore was to be his student. In student also we had our own categories. And I feel in student being a music group member was furthermore privileged. As Bhagwan said, music is the easiest way to God. And it is a gift. Not everybody has it. So you all had that privilege to experience Bhagwan from that perspective. I know most of you had also the blessing of composing or introducing new bhajans to Swami. I am reminded of one thing, so I would like Brother Kote to start off. Kote, brother, I remember, a time of your isolation, what we call cold storage period, for 3 years when Bhagwan avoided you. So I believe something happened near the water tank area. So if you could share that story with all of us, that would be great.
Sairam. I joined Brindavan College in 1976. Brother Rupak Sharma and Hirak, we were all batchmates. In the evening bhajan sessions, Swami used to ask Brother Rupak, Brother Hirak, and all other singers to sing bhajans, but not me. It went on for 1 year, not 3 years, went on for 1 year. But all the time I was thinking, everybody was praising me that, Kota, you sing so well, and how come you are not singing inside? It was very difficult to digest this spirit. So I was feeling so bad inside me. Uh, every time, whenever the bhajan session in the evening, I used to rush and sit very next to the chair of Swami. But even then, he would never ask me to sing. So it went on for 1 year, and at that time, Swami was in Prashant Nilayam. So I thought, I was feeling so sad that I was sitting in the evening near the pond, in one of the steps, and feeling so bad, crying to myself, praying Swami that, see, how come you are not asking me to sing? So suddenly, yes, bhajan came to my mind. I won't say that it is composed by me, but the bhajan, just 2 lines.
Please sing.
It goes like this. Jaya Ma, Jagadishwari, Sai Ma, Jagadishwari, Maheshwari, Saishwari, Sai Ma, Jaya Ma, जय मां जगदीश्वरी साई मां जय मां जगदीश्वरी साई मां जगदीश्वरी महेश्वरी साईश्वरी 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 साई मां जय मां जय मां जगदीश्वरी साई मां Saram.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very next
Brother
day,
Rupert, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
very next day, Swami had come to Vrindavan. Again, we had the bhajan session in the evening. That day, Swami asked me to sing, and I sang this bhajan. See, from then on, every alternate day, he made me sing this bhajan. Throughout the summer course of 1977, every alternate day, one day this Jayama, and the next day was Sai Baba
Baba, Sai
Namaste.
Baba.
Yeah, these two, he made me sing these two songs continuously.
See, it's a privilege that Swami actually he gives any one of us that privilege and that pride to be associated with that bhajan. Otherwise, truly speaking, all his compositions, he inspires the words and the music. What a divine bhajan was come out of you, brother. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Actually, I would like to bring in Rupak Bhaiya. Rupak Bhaiya, your name is associated with a very eternal song which Bhagwan sang and immortalized it again. Hari bhajan bina sukh shanti nahi. So
Yeah.
I would have request you to please share the story with our audience and tell us about it.
Okay. First, when I joined in 1976, Swami was not there in Vrindavan. He was in Parthi. So once I got introduced there, I got admission there. Every evening there used to be bhajans. So I wanted to sing, and I remember Mr. Devanand and Venkatesh. These two guys were the main lead singers there at that time. So every evening I used to sit near them so that they can hear my voice, or they come to know that I can sing. So one day Venkatesh told me, "Do you want to sing?" And I told, "Yeah, I want to sing." Immediately I told that, "Yes, I want to sing." So that day evening they asked me to sing the bhajan. So I sang, and from that day onwards I continued singing in the hostel. But I never got a chance because Swami was not there. After some few weeks time, I think, Swami came to Vrindavan, and just like Kote, what he said, same thing happened to me. Swami never used to look at me nor used to talk to me, and I used to run every day. I used to in fact bunk my classes and stand on the line, so that at least he will ask me something. I used to send letters also. And Swami, please allow me to sing. Please allow me to sing. But nothing like that. So I used to cry. I used to pray Swami, but nothing happened. And then one suddenly on 26th of January 1977, it was my birthday. Sudarshan, Dr. Sudarshan, he wished me first of all. He told me, "Go happy birthday. You do one thing. You take Swami's dinner today from the hostel." So I was very happy, and so in the evening I went to the hostel, and they gave me a plate with a silver ball like thing, covered with some golden, silk cloth. And I was very happy. I went upstairs. We call it upstairs, that veranda where Swami used to walk. So by the time I went there, Swami was sitting on the table, and he was talking to Jogara and all some guests. And I was there. Then Swami told, "Ra, come." I went there. I kept the food there, and then Swami himself served me. My brother was also there, so we both ate. But we were waiting actually, so that Swami will also take his food. But Swami told, "Hum kha liya, tum khao." So I had my food, and then he asked me, "Kahan se aaya? Assam se aaya?" Then Hirok's brother used to be there at that time, Rupak Chankakoti. So he asked me whether you know him. I told, "Yes, I know him." Then in Telugu, Sudarshan told something to Swami, which I couldn't understand because I was very new at that time. So Telugu, I was not, I never knew the words. Right. So after finishing my dinner, Swami asked, "Bhajan gao." And I just started, "Sai bhajan bina sukh shanti nahi." That bhajan was taught to me by Kalyan Chaudhary. The writer is Kalyan Chaudhary. When he came to Assam, I think Hirok knows him. He came to Assam, he stayed in Guwahati. At that time, he taught us this bhajan. So one Mr. Datta Gupta, he told me, "If you get a chance to sing in front of Swami, you sing this bhajan." And I sang this bhajan. And you could see, when I was singing, I could see Swami's face glowing. He was, I can make out, I was crying and singing, and Swami was I could feel his happiness. And after that, after hearing that song, he made me sing so many songs, Assamese songs, Bengali songs, film songs, so many other songs. And he told, "Dekho, Assam se aaya, kitna acha bhajan gata hai." He used to tell all his guests. And from that day, next day onwards, this Sai Bhajan Bina became every evening Swami will ask me to sing. Most of the days, if there is a guest, he will ask me to sing this bhajan only. And slowly, what has happened, sometimes Swami will call me to the safe room, which Kote told. And then he will sit on the chair, and then he'll tell, "Gao, wo bhajan gao." Then I'll sing that Sai Bhajan Bina Sukh Shanti Nahi. Then sometimes it happens like that, something will say, "First learn gao." So I'll sing the song, then he will sing. And then again, I'll sing the second line. Then again, he will sing. I never knew. I thought that Swami was enjoying the bhajan. Swami likes the bhajan, so he was asking me to sing this thing, some bhajan. So it continued for a year or so like that. I got beautiful chances. Swami used to talk to me. Swami used to make me sing. And there are so many other bhajans also, but Sai Bhajana was one bhajan where if any guest comes, sometimes it happens like that, I plan something else.
So for how many days or how many weeks did it continue that he would make you walk with him, keep singing, call you at the room?
No, actually, for a year, actually, Swami made me sing this bhajan.
My
for
God.
more than a year, I think. Yeah.
So after a year, Swami sang this song?
Yeah, after in Parthi, it was Swami's birthday or third World Conference. It was something like that in 78 or 79. Now I forgot the exact thing. After Swami's divine discourse, Swami sang this bhajan, Hari Bhajan Bina Sukh Shanti Nahi. And I was crying, and I never thought that Swami will sing this bhajan. And then immediately, and I knew, and on that day when Swami sang the bhajan, instead of our boys seeing Swami when Swami was singing, everybody was looking at me, and I was crying. Literally, I was crying. And then I knew that Swami will talk to me that day. So immediately I ran to Prashanti Nilayam Swami's gate, where Swami interviewed him. So I was standing there. Swami went inside. After his divine discourse and all, he came back to his mandir. He went inside. He went in, after that he came, he called me, come. Swami told me, Kaisa tha? I couldn't say anything to Swami. I just fell at his feet, that's all. And then Swami just picked me up like that and told, Chala Santosham, Chala Santosham. He blessed me. He gave me some dry fruits, a white pair of clothes, which is still there with me. That pair of, and that pant shirt is always there. Only on special occasions I wear. Although it has become, I have gone down. That time I was quite fat. Still that pant shirt is still there with me, and I cherish that bhajan. And I always sing this bhajan whenever there is an occasion.
Rupak,
So
can
this
I
is
just
one story.
can I just add here?
Please.
He told you, this is, if I'm not mistaken, he told you this.
Yeah.
I am very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he told me just was
So
that's why, you know, I
by
just
saying,
can't.
by virtue of saying that,
See, Swami comes
he
down to
taught,
that level, you know,
taught
human.
mankind. He taught
Yeah.
mankind how to be grateful.
How to be grateful.
Gratitude
And
is something
see
that
his,
he taught us.
see his humbleness. See, he comes to that human level. He comes to that human level.
It's not only Rupak, humility,
Yeah.
because he doesn't need to be humble or anything. He doesn't need to prove anything. But then in every action of his, he is teaching us something. He is beaming out a message to mankind. And by saying that, you know, one is perseverance, that's what he was showing us. One whole year he seemingly, apparently learned that bhajan from you. And then he sang it during a public occasion. And then when he saw you, he said, thank you, I am grateful to you.
Yeah.
Playfully, he told me. And one
How
more thing I
grateful
just
are
want
we
to
to
add.
people around us? Think of it. How grateful can we be to people who teach us even an iota of anything?
Yeah. One more thing I want to say, Swami preaches whatever he practices. So, you know, Swami learned the bhajan for 1 year. And here, that's what Swami has taught all the lead singers. At least I want to tell the lead singers who aspire to sing Sai bhajans all over the world. Swami says that 100 times you have to learn a bhajan and then sing it perfectly. So Swami,
Why don't you all sing
yeah,
it?
I'll sing.
No, that's
I'll
what
sing.
when Swami asking you, "Kaisa tha?" That's a very big question. How often do we ask this to people? Kaisa tha? You know, we don't have time to take people's opinion. Sing.
See, Swami never required 1 year to learn the bhajan. It was a bhajan.
Yeah, he doesn't require.
He
But
he required 1 year to learn. But it was
Apparently,
he was giving that privilege to Rupak.
yes, that's my.
It was a chance which he was giving to Rupak, and then after that,
chance.
he sings it, and then sings bhajan and says that, oh, how did I sing? You know, that used to happen very often. Suppose Pandit Bhimchand is singing. Who are we to comment on Pandit Bhimchand?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he will look at Etla Partnaru. How is he singing?
No, actually, Rupak sang all the time Sai Bhajan Mena, but Swami many times Hari
I
Bhajan
never got any other chances to sing other bhajans which I used to learn. Later on, Swami changed it to Hari Bhajan.
There is Rupak also a sequel to this. I happened to meet a gentleman in the US in one of those small programs, and you know, when I sang Hari Bhajan Bina Sukh Shanti Nahi, I told them your story, and then this gentleman said, "Can I play the violin for you?" He was a very good violinist.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Venkat, and then he said that he also had been associated with Kalyan Chaudhary for a long time, and he had learned this bhajan, and he said there are 2 more verses to it.
Yes, yes, yes. There are two more verses. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that.
So he sang the entire song, and what an eye opener! Like, yeah, Bhagwan Sri
He was a
Satya Sai
great
Baba, as
person.
Hirok was telling,
So, brothers,
it's
I
not
feel
that.
why don't you sing this song? Sing this
Yes,
bhajan for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm getting so
I'll
many
sing this
requests
song.
from the side.
sing, Rupak.
I'm getting a lot of
Okay.
requests.
साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, हरे नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, प्रेम भक्ति बिना उद्धार नहीं, गुरु सेवा बिना निर्वाण नहीं, साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, जप ध्यान बिना संयोग नहीं, प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं, दया धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, साईनाथ बिना परमात्मा नहीं, साईनाथ बिना परमात्मा नहीं, साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं.
Beautiful, beautiful.